Hey YouTube, it is now holiday makeup season, or as Crystal is 007 calls it, palette season. It is not even the first day of fall yet and all of the holiday palettes are starting to come out. So of course I am starting to buy. I have one on the way, and I went to the Sephora and JCPenney's yesterday and picked up the one I am going to talk about. For the past 3 years, I think, I have been picking up Kat Von D's holiday palette. So yesterday I picked up the Vida Loca palette, which looks like this. It is fashioned after an album cover. It comes in a clear plastic box, but I already took it out of there. So this is the front artwork, and this is the Vida Loca Remix eyeshadow palette. Vida Loca Remix eyeshadow palette, yes. That is what it is. She had a smaller Vida Loca palette before that was a fan favorite, so she did this take on it, and that is the front of it, and this is what the back looks like. As you can see, this sort of looks like a record album, and it is very sturdy, hard plastic packaging. And the palette slides out, which I had not heard in a couple of other videos that I watched. So when I got mine, it just sort of slid out and I almost damaged it. So for those of you that are interested, it does not flip up. There is nothing else inside the box but the actual eyeshadow palette. And there is a star right here on the side, so you know how to place the palette back into the box. So I will pull it out. And what came inside of that plastic box I slid into this box is a sort of a I want to call it a pamphlet, sort of like a flyer, for lack of a better word, with 3 looks on it. And of course it has a picture of the palette on the other side. It does fit very nicely inside of here if you want to store it in here. It was not originally in there, but that's where I put it to hold on to it. And this is what the palette looks like. It almost reminds me of the color wheel. I don't know if the colors are arranged that way. I actually have a color wheel here so I can show you how close to the color wheel this thing sort of looks. Okay, so I was able to get my color wheel out of my drawer, and this is what the color wheel looks like. This is what it looks like on this side, and this is the Kat Von D palette. I know it's weird sort of to compare the two that way, but it looks a lot like a color wheel to me. It has all of your sort of neutral shades in the center and all of your colorful shades on the outer diameter of it. It has a good amount of matte and shimmery, matte satin and sort of glittery shades, and I'm going to do some swatches of it. The price of this palette is $59, which is pretty much comparable to all of the other holiday palettes coming out this year. So I am going to get to swatching. Oh, what I did want to say also is that, as you can see, the names of the colors are printed on the palette, which is very important to us. We don't like that film that you have to throw out. So I will give you one more good look at the palette, and then I will be back with swatches. 1 second. Alright, so I am going to randomly swatch around the color wheel, and I think that I will start with sort of I'll start with the inner circle and give you some swatches. And the first one that I will swatch is looks sort of like just a white satiny color here called Skulls, and it is very buttery when you touch it. And that is what Skulls looks like, and it is pretty. It is a satiny white pearly type color. The next color beside it makes a good sort of brow bone color, and it is called Noble And yes, it is a good brow bone or all over the lid color. So that is Noble. And alright, so the next color that I am going to swatch sort of reminds me of sort of like a banana color right here. It is called Molder, and very creamy when you swatch it. And that is Molder. All these are very pigmented so far. The next color is a dark brown color called Vox, and it is right there. Also very creamy. And that is Vox. So it's sort of a cool tone brown color. The next one is a beige color. That's the best way I can. It's a cooler version of Noble. That's how I describe it. And it is called Strutter. And I will swatch Strutter right here. This, I think, for women of color, is also a good brow bone color. The black that they have in the center is called Black Metal, but it looks like a black matte. There is no shimmery anything in this that I can see. It feels a little more dry than the other one, but it is still super pigmented. So that is Black Metal. And those are the colors in the center of the palette. And I will clean my hand and be right back with the rest of the swatches. Okay, so we are going to start with the greens and work our way around. And I will start with the lightest green, and it is called Vinyl. And swatch here. Vinyl is sort of like the Black Metal. It feels a little bit drier, but still a decent amount of pigmentation. A little bit powdery though. The next one is Misfit. That one feels really creamy and swatches a little bit better than Vinyl. And that green, this green here, sort of Kelly green, is called Misfit. The third green is even creamier, and I think my favorite, look how that swatches on my finger. Oh, that is super pretty. This is a sort of satiny color, and it is called Lemmy. It's sort of a bluish color green. Then we get into sort of a teal, and it is called Hyper Ballad. This one feels a little dry to me also, and kind of swatches a little powdery. And this is here, Hyper Ballad. You can still see some of the powder, but that is Hyper Ballad. Still really pretty. And the next one, we're going towards more of a ocean blue color. Really creamy. It's a matte too, I think. Really pretty. This one is called Synth. Right here, that is so pretty. Don't know how I'm going to use that yet, but that is really pretty. So I'm going to swatch, wipe these off of my hand, and we are going to go sort of into a little darker blue, and it's called Dark Wave, and then we'll go sort of into the purples. Trying to dry my hand a little bit. The next one, which is a darker blue, really creamy when you swatch it, and this one is called Dark Wave. It is a little powdery, but really pretty. So that is Dark Wave. The next one is a purple with, it looks like some pink glitters in it, and it is called Echo. And Echo is here. It's a pretty color, pigmented but sort of light at the same time. I'm not sure what the finish was that they were trying to go for, but that is Echo. The next one is a really, really light purple color, and it is called Muse. And Muse is a little powdery to me, and I hope you can see that it's sort of purple, but as you can see, it looks sort of like a whitish color. The next one is called Anthem. Yeah, Anthem. And sort of a mid-tone purple color. Very sort of powdery when you touch it. Sort of crumbling when I touch it. So I feel like I just wasted a good amount of product just swatching it. Nice color, very powdery. Be careful. I will show you my palette so you can see that this is what happened when I swatched it, and you saw that fall off. So that is Anthem. I hope I don't regret what I just did blowing that over there. The next one is called Love. I'm assuming with 2 dots over the O. And it is sort of a pinky purple. More pink than purple. It is a satin, really pretty. So this is Love. And then we sort of get into your carnation pink. And this one is called Swoon. And we will swatch that one right there. So this is Swoon. I'll show you again. I feel like I pulled that away. Very pigmented. So far the pigmentation has been really decent, and a lot of the colors are brown girl friendly, which I am happy about. Then you have your sort of salmony pink color, and it is called Destroyer. It is a little drier than Swoon. Let me swatch it right here. And terrible swatch. This is Destroyer. Still pretty. That's a matte color. The next one is a satin color. It is called Rewind. I think of it as sort of a burgundy color, and very creamy when you swatch it. This is a nice fall color. So this is Rewind. Really pretty. You should see my wipe sort of looks like I tie-dyed it. The next one is sort of a coppery color, and it's called Harpsichord. It is a satin also. Really pretty. This is also a nice fall color. So that is Harpsichord. Next to Harpsichord is called Analog. It is a matte orange. And this one is creamy. But there is fallout also with this one. I'm even having a hard time sort of blending it so it doesn't fall off of my hand. With the brush it could be completely different, but when I touch it with my hand it sort of crumbles. But that is Analog. So that is your matte orange right there. The next one, we are getting into the yellows. This is a matte sort of dark yellow, and it is called Fran. And this one is creamy when you swatch it. And that is Fran. So not as pigmented, but I don't know if I would want my yellow to be super pigmented anyway. But still a pretty color. And the last one I am going to swatch is sort of a light. It's still a yellow, but it's a satiny yellow, sort of leaning towards a gold to me. And it is called Legend. And when I swatch it on my hand, it almost looks like the satin version of Fran. But it looks different here. So it sort of looks like a light gold on my hand here. So that is Legend. And that is the Kat Von D Me Vida Loca Remix palette. I am super happy that I picked it up. For the most part, the colors are pigmented. You do have a little fallout when I rub with my finger. I am not sure how the shadows would react when I put a brush in them. Like I said, it's $59, and you can get it. I picked it up at the Sephora inside of JCPenney's. They also have them available on Sephora.com. So this is part one of my palettes. I was very excited to get this one because I do like collecting the Kat Von D holiday palettes. And this one I think is better than the one from last year. But that is issue all. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Probably in a couple of days I will have another holiday palette to show you. Have a great day. Have a great week. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You can see more of these palettes. Bye.